My exhibit is called Starry Night, and it's for the Maine Children's Museum in Bangor. In order for children to experience the fun and education they need, the Maine Children's Museum must allow a place for children's imaginations to grow. With the addition of Starry Night, kids will be able to explore and learn about our night sky, constellations, and the path of our moon orbiting our planet. The project will target our immediate location as well as the southern hemisphere. You might be asking, who is the targeted audience? Targeted audience will range from the ages of 9 to 11 in 4th and 5th grade. Many kids begin learning about the stars and planets, but in a broad spectrum. Many children may not know all the constellations at these ages, but this project will give them insight and the ability to learn more about them. A nice addition to the learning curve is that not only will children be exposed to star formations in the northern hemisphere, but also in the southern hemisphere. What is the project? A new and improved version of the already existing planetarium will be needed. It will use the same exact dimensions as the last planetarium, but lift it a little bit. There will be no extra space needed. A long curved hallway will be needed to minimize light entering the observation room. The dome can use the wireframe of the pre-existing dome, but it must be modified. Removal of the seating arrangements along the perimeter of the observatory room and central posts will be necessary. The planetarium would be raised off of the floor at least 2 feet. The floor would be glass so that you could peer through it and see what is revealed below. The hallway would be on a slight incline, which would lead into the main area. Images of the 8 planets in our solar system will appear illuminated below your feet beneath the glass floor as you'll walk down the hallway. The glass floor will expand into the observatory room. Above you, you will see the stars illuminated in the dome of the northern hemisphere as what you might see from our location in Bangor, Maine. Below your feet, you will be able to see through the glass platform separating you from the southern hemisphere, what we wouldn't be able to see because we're above the horizon. This will allow children and parents to see a part of the sky that we cannot physically see without traveling below the northern hemisphere. Constellations labeled would be visible with the touch of a button in both hemispheres. Another button will allow you to see the stars in their real state without modifications. The last button will dim the opacity of the stars to about 50%, while our solar system planets will become prominent as labeled. These 3 buttons will be available to anyone on a pedestal in the center of the room. A thick circle surrounding the pedestal would be labeled Earth. This would be a prime spot for children to sit down on the floor and peer above and below themselves at the stars surrounding them. 2 projectors will illuminate the space below the glass, which would seamlessly stitch the moving footage together. There will also be another set of projectors located above the pedestal, which would revolve around the northern hemisphere. The animation of the stars would complete revolution about every 30 minutes. It will be located as a new exhibit, but in the same spot as the previous one on the 3rd floor. How much will it cost? The exhibit will have a minimized cost in a small way because I'll be recycling the planetarium that was previously used. Things that would be separating this cost would be seating removal, pedestal removal, carpet removal, the installation of glass floor, lighting fixtures in the hallway below your feet, 4 automatic projector calibration with embedded light sensors, and the SkyX Professional Edition software, which would run the animation of stars. Why is this a good idea? I believe this exhibit needs an update, and I know I'm not alone. The Maine Children's Museum has plans of this exhibit to be removed in the near future, so my plan is to not entirely get rid of it, but recycle what's salvageable. As a conclusion, when I was in 4th grade, I remember loving the inflatable domes that the school had brought in. I would love to share my experience with other children who may have the same passion for astronomy that I did when I was their age. This exhibit would also be a nice facelift to the 3rd floor, as it will be taking on new and improved features throughout the museum as upgrades are made.